So Beautiful Boy is directed by Felix von Groenigan and stars Steve Carell and Timothee Chalamet as David and Nick Sheff, and this movie is based on the memoirs of the real-life David and Nick Sheff, which details the battle and story of how Nick Sheff was dealing with addiction to all different kinds of drugs and alcohol, and how it affected not only him, but also the people around him. First off, Timothee Chalamet is brilliant in this movie, as he always is. Timothee Chalamet is such a rising star right now, and he's very much in the conversation of every other cinema goer out there right now. Following movies like Call Me By Your Name and movies like Lady Bird, this guy is really on the rise, and this film once again proves that he is a very worthy actor, and I really loved his performance here. Very, very real, very nuanced, but also very believable and very tortured. It was difficult to watch him in this movie. It was very difficult to watch him put his body and his mind and also his family and his loved ones through this process, but you could see that he was so helpless in this entire thing as well. While yes, the situation he is in is technically his own fault, what was actually happening to him and how it was developing is just natural part of the cause, and you could see that he felt helpless throughout the situation, but he couldn't stop, and that was really difficult to watch, and I think Chalamet pulled it off beautifully. Also, Steve Carell gave a very heartfelt performance in this movie, which really hit home with me. I loved his performance here. I have to say, I think Steve Carell has been making some fantastic career choices as of late, with movies like this. He's also got Welcome to Marwen coming up. He's also got Vice coming up. He has really got some really awesome movies now coming onto his resume. Of course, the guy being from The Office, he's always very much been known as the comedy guy, but he's recently been really dipping his toes into other elements of genres, and I'm really enjoying him doing that, because he's really proving himself to be a truly fantastic actor and a really good dramatic actor too. And if you want to see that in force, Beautiful Boy has got that in store. This movie is really well shot as well, really crisp and really clean, and I really enjoyed seeing that. Like, this movie is just really nicely shot. Like, it's not anything outstanding, but, you know, it doesn't necessarily try to do over-exuberant shots. What it tends to do is take a very relaxed but very forced approach. And what I mean by forced is that it very much sticks the camera right in these situations, so you feel like you're in these conversations or that you're in these scenes. And I think it worked very well in that regard, and I loved how well the camera was placed in all of these scenes. I think it worked brilliantly for this film. Also, I have to do a big shout out to sound design. I think the sound design in this movie was on point. There are so many different moments in this film, especially there's a particular scene with David Sheff, which is Steve Carell's character, where there has like this noise that just keeps striking up, and it gets worse and worse and worse, and it goes on for about 5 minutes, and it's really like intense and just adds to the scene. And I think it was a brilliant thing to add into the movie. And also, this movie is just incredibly real. Beautiful Boy is a realistic depiction of somebody battling against drug and alcohol addiction, and you really get to see how effective this can be. Like, you really, like I mentioned earlier when I was talking about Chalamet's performance, the way you see that not only how it affects him, but also the people around him, how his life and his family life has been utterly destroyed by everything going on with him and everything going on with this drug battle. And it was really, like I say, difficult to watch. It was almost like a tortured kind of thing, and I didn't really, not necessarily enjoy watching it, but it was just really difficult to get through. But obviously that is completely what they were going for, and they did it so well. My only negative with Beautiful Boy, and it's a little bit more of a personal preference, but it's just I feel like the movie's a little bit strangely structured as it jumps around all the time a little bit, which, again, some people might be alright with that. It's just for me personally, especially when it comes to biopics like this, I'm not exactly a big fan when it jumps around. I much prefer things to be in a chronological order. But again, that's a lot more of a personal thing for me. Overall, Beautiful Boy was a beautiful movie that was really well told and really well executed. The incredible performances from Chalamet and Carell really prove that these two actors are ones to keep an eye on, especially with Chalamet rising up so quickly. And I think this movie, like I say, is a realistic depiction of drug addiction and alcoholism, and really shows how it can affect not only the person involved taking the drugs, but also how it can affect their lives and how it can affect their families. And it was a really, really good film that was really able to depict that with extreme realism. So did you guys see Beautiful Boy? If you did, make sure you tell me all your thoughts about it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Tell me all about it in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, if you want to see more movie reviews from me, be sure to subscribe. And I hope to see you guys again in my next video.